Hello, good evening. Um, I want to read a journal for you, but I want to share something too. I've gotten some comments and some messages that people are tuning in that my heart is heavy. And I just want to let you know if you tune into that, that's the case. But it's the old one foot in front of another thing. There are plenty of platitudes for it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Get knocked down 10 times, get up 11, you've won, all that kind of thing. And so we plow through and not take our own challenges so seriously, perhaps. You know, I mean, the reality, you ready for another platitude? The reality is this too shall pass. So if you're picking that up, you know, it's okay. You're right on. But it's not important to this. Now, I don't remember what I wrote here. This is the journal from 11/27 of 2010, the second one of the day. It was written after the one where it says, I slap you, my face hurts. So this is freaking out, trusting heart, making a difference. Now, to get on to what has changed. I know relationships are morphing all around me and in ways mind couldn't fathom. If you want to know how you are really not in control, look to your relationships. You'll find it there. Actually, you'll find Source talking to you through that. Not with the precise words of the friend, the lover, the child, but under the words. Not even anything the friend or lover could possibly be meaning to say. Source is far deeper than this, knows so much more. You'll have to trek to those deeper levels of you to get the messages. That's right, just be in heart. Refuse to leave there, no matter what, no matter how it hurts. Just give the other one room to be the sovereign being that they are, and stay in your heart. So, what is my heart telling me? It's telling me things aren't going along the way I had wanted or hoped. Now, I have to look into that I there, the one doing the wanting and hoping, and see who that is. Is that the real I, the real me? And if so, why aren't things going the right way for that? Am I able to spot the mind at work here? Am I able to see these dreams and visions as being just mind creations? Can I take this relationship to a deeper place in me? What will I find there? There are levels and levels of these things. We don't get to see one level until we've worked our way through to it, through the emotions that came up with the previous ones. It just works that way. No sense trying to outguess it or to be a better performer at this or some such nonsense. Best to just keep returning to heart and to be willing to greet whatever appears and go with the flow. The flow will often have pain as a part of how it feels. Well, we're equal to that, my friends. It's not going to crush us like some little bug or such. Here we are, these great cosmic beings, having been convinced where we are these little worthless nothings. So we run from this stuff. Well, no shame in that. We're just performing to specs, just the way we were programmed. No shame at all. Instead of shame, there is joy. Joy in the awakening. The realizing that it's not necessarily the way of it. the way we thought. We're more than equal to whatever arises. If you don't yet have this realization, then just place faith in your heart. Heart knows the way. Heart wouldn't present anything to you that you're not ready for. And more than equal to, heart knows best. Okay, I forgot to make it a little bigger for these eyes of mine, so pardon the technical difficulties here while I find my place again. Okay, so when we're riding the flow, we don't get to choose anymore in the old ways that we're so used to. We would choose where we go, what we think, what we do, what happens to us, and all of that with never a second thought about being in control of life in that way, if we could. Well, when we enter heart-centered living, it's a real shock at first. We feel we're losing control, and it's very frightening for a while. Eventually, we do get more accustomed to this feeling, and we begin to realize that's just mind. Mind is what freaks out when we feel freaked out like that. And that's not really us. Have you realized that yet? Have you stepped back from mind? That's just mind there, having a hard day of it. And we can be gentle with mind. No need to be cruel, a taskmaster, a slave driver. As we do to the self, so goes the world. We've got to love the self of us, just as we want others to love us. It makes a difference. We'll see it reflected in life. Anyway, as we get used to realizing we're not the mind, we're not really freaked out by this, we can go farther and deeper into heart space. It still feels strange and will continue to do so off and on. We've got loads and buckets of belief to clean out of the Aegean stables of self, and they'll begin coming up for us as we go on with heart flow. Have you heard David Icke talk about this? After his big Kundalini experience and his awakening, his whole life fell apart, and it went on for a couple of years, and he says, you know, after a couple of years of that, he would have said, shove it. If this is the spiritual path, thanks, but no thanks. Anyway, there's a trustingness, a real letting go that is happening here. We're beginning to trust that just maybe heart may really know what it's doing. We keep seeing these amazing synchronicities everywhere. We keep getting these neat ideas, these wonderful understandings of things. Lovely, serendipitous intuitions arise. And there's quite a bit of fun with this when we're not busy being terrified, that is, identified with the mind. Then we remember again, oh, wait, that's not me. I'm really okay. Okay, carry on. Yeah, it's an amazing way to live, and don't expect the people around you to understand either. You can take little forays out into that territory if you want to, but you'll probably find that you can't express what's going on with you inside anyway. And unless that person you're talking to there is also in heart, there's not a whole lot of chance that you, at this point, will manage to put this thing in a context they can recognize and identify with. They'll just think you're nuts. Maybe eventually you just quit trying that. It's not so bad, really, being the office nut, the crazy kid, the oddball in the group. Comfort yourself in this way. They really do know. It's just that this new level of knowing you're entering, you're dealing with, is on the level of heart. And unless those around you are comfortable in their own hearts, they just won't hear you. And it's not their fault, but know that their heart hears you and knows. It knows just what you're saying, what you're meaning as well. Really, that means you're having more of an effect on folks than you realize right now. You're planting seeds. You're showing them a new way of being and someone with the courage to venture out into it, out onto the ice there. You leave a mark on their heart, whether you or they know it. Maybe knowing that helps to ease a bit your passage through. Your intuition gets stronger and stronger. Can't help it. You've got to rely on heart a bit to find this, to discover it. Almost no one trusts it at first, but you will. If you keep grounding, centering in heart, then you will. It gets so powerful, it just can't be avoided. Then you'll know. Like right now, I can know how the friend is feeling just by setting out to write a letter to her. As I do that, the friend responds, and I get the response. I sense and feel it, and I just know. I know where she's at with certain things as I address them to her. It's like